Showtime?
Go time.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Peter and Miles podcast, episode number 7. We're super excited that we're 7 episodes in already. It's going by pretty quickly. What do you think, RJ?
Yep. Pretty. Can't wait till we get to 10. That'll be a milestone. But
yeah,
that 7 already in 3 months, 4 months?
I think we started this like shortly after I moved into my new place, which was in June. So just barely over the 2-month mark. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
We've been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But this episode is like, we've had tons of news, tons of just cool speculations. But today we're going back with another ranking, and it is going to get spicy as hell in this one.
As usual with these rankings. Because it always does. You know, when people think Spider-Man 3 is better than the first Hasm, but you know, whatever.
Well, when it's an accurate argument, it's okay. But anyway, today we're doing our individual top 5 Spider-Man actors. So this could be voice actors, this could be live action actors, anybody that's ever played the character of Spider-Man before in video games, TV shows, or movies. All fair game. So there's tons of people to choose from and tons that are going to be not making the cut. And that's where it's going to get really, really interesting.
There are some that on my list that might.
Yeah, this was tough. Like, right before we pressed record, I was making my list. I was just going over it again. I thought I had it pretty solidified. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot somebody. But someone's going to have to come off. So it was a bit
and
of
also, here's another thing. It's all Spider-Man actors. Like, it's not just live action. We're not doing 3, like ranking Toby, Tom, and Andrew. Like, we're ranking like everybody. Like everyone in our personal, like, it's basically more than 3 people. So like, but this is a top 5 list, our personal top 5 Spider-Man actors, and yeah, this might surprise some people. It's our list, so don't get upset. But,
yeah,
you know,
like for both of our lists, if you know either RJ or I personally, some of them will be like, okay, that makes sense. I saw that coming. But then I think there's going to be a few on each of our lists that are going to shock the heck out of a bunch of people.
Yeah, if you've been watching from the start, you probably know our top. I'll say maybe top 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know who I think I know who your number 1 is, but I don't know who your number 2 is. So like, but I don't know.
And I know for sure you're number 1. So yeah. So yeah, let's get right into it. We're actually going to kick it off with a couple honorable mentions. We did 2 honorable mentions. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. So honorable mention, I got Chris Pine, who was the original Peter Parker in Into the Spider-Verse.
All right.
So I really liked it. My reason being is his Spider-Man was like, that was like one of the more very so many of these are comic accurate, but that one, he just had the charm of Peter Parker, the charm of Spider-Man when he's in the suit and the confidence. And he was just so funny, and the quips were perfect. And the advice, the heartfelt scenes when it was just him and Miles. I know we didn't get a lot of him, and that's why he didn't make my top 5. But yeah, there's something about Chris Pine's performance. Basically, for those of you who may not be 100% sure, it's the Peter Parker that died in the Spider-Verse. But just his performance from what we got in the brief amount of scenes of him in, it just really resonated with me. And I would have loved to see a lot more of him. I wouldn't have been mad if they didn't kill him off, but if he didn't get killed off, we wouldn't have gotten Jake Johnson, who I thought did a great job as well. But Chris Pine,
I always forget
definitely
Chris Pine's in that movie.
Huh?
I always forget Chris Pine's voice like a version of Spider-Man in that movie. It's
Yeah.
like
I wish we saw.
I always look up like the cast. I'm like, wait, he was in this? Like when?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot his name, but that's besides the point. I thought he did a great job. But anyway,
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is. Who's your first honorable mention?
Shamik Moore as Miles.
Great choice.
I think that with him, he could have made my list. It's just there's been so many in the past that I just love, and it's just hard to top those guys. But Shamik Moore I think he voices Miles the best. I love Najee Jeter too as well. But when Shamik when he talks, like when he is voicing Miles, that's I think of Miles like as on the page and stuff when he's talking in the comics and stuff like that. Like that's how Miles should sound.
Like when you're reading Miles Morales in the comics, you read it in Shamik's voice. Yeah. He's
and then like Across the Spider-Verse, he was really good in that. So
I feel like he's got, like, no disrespect to Najee, of course, but I feel like he's got more of like a range. He can play a lot more different range of emotions, a little bit in a sense, than Najee. Najee
like
kills it, but
like look at the Across the Spider, like in the scene in Across the Spider-Verse where like he's fighting the Spot for the first time and he's just quipping, like, and he's got the mask halfway on and he's like eating and stuff. Like I love that when Shamik he's killing that, like with the voice acting. He's killing it. So.
Yeah, with Najee, I feel like when he quips in the games, it seems like, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit, and he seems kind of forced when he's doing it. And I don't know if it's
that's fair.
Just the writing for him or just his delivery, but I don't really like when Najee quips as much. I don't know. I'm trying not to knock him too much, but I definitely prefer Shamik.
He's still great as Miles, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. My next honorable mention is going to piss a whole hell of a lot of you off. It's going to make a lot of you mad. But guess what? My honorable mention, who just barely missed out on the top 5, is Andrew Garfield. I said it. Call me Andrew Garfield hater, Tasman hater. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Guess what? He's a one-dimensional Peter Parker / Spider-Man. He's only good in the suit. Peter Parker, I ain't buying it. I'm sorry. He's not. Like the rest of the people above him on this list have that perfect balance. They play both and excel, and a little bit of nostalgia twinkled in there as well with the rest of the 5 above him. But I don't got no nostalgia for Andrew Garfield. When I saw him on my screen, I was like, no, go away. I'm sorry. I like Andrew Garfield now, but nah, he ain't top 5. I'm sorry. Not for me, at least. He can be for you. I know I'm pulling a Danny Watkins rant out of my ass right now, but guess what? This is my list, and you ain't gonna tell me how to do my list. That's what I got to say. That was my rant. That was my rant for this. It might come back. Might need to take a minute. I'm actually impressed with how I literally went off the dome with all that. No stuttering, nothing. That was just straight from the heart. Straight from the heart.
Well, what you said, it's fair. Like his Spider-Man is very one-dimensional. Like he's not, and it's not Andrew's fault. It's just the writing with the character, and you know, as Peter, like he's okay as Peter. He's not. He's better. Yeah, it's kind of like trying to think of an example. Another example of another actor that played a character, but that's besides the point. But it's like he's great at Spider-Man. Like Andrew kills at Spider-Man. And again, it's not his fault. The writing is terrible when it comes to his Peter. Like it's just
You know what it is?
He's too cool as Peter. He's too cool as Peter.
Yeah, you know what a similarity might be? Christian Bale's Batman. He's a great Bruce Wayne, but when he's in the Batman suit, he's just like some of the writing is a little iffy. He's still a great Batman, but
I disagree with that.
All right, never mind.
Me personally, I know we have some friends that don't like Christian Bale's Batman. Me personally, I think Christian Bale is great as Batman. Yes, the voice can get a bit choppy sometimes, but I think Christian Bale is a top 2 Batman. Bruce Wayne, it's just my opinion, but that's besides the point. It's a Spider-Man, but
yeah, I was mostly making that argument because that's what some people.
I get what you mean.
Some people.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Not like yeah, Christian Bale's my favorite Batman, but that's just it's based off what some people have said. But yeah,
we basically think of Andrew Garfield was a Spider-Man that could have been. He will always be that Spider-Man,
right? Because
the writing was of the character was terrible in those movies, and the Sony just did not do Spider-Man justice in the TASM franchise. So you just kind of feel bad for Andrew, man. But that I do agree with everything that you said about like his interpretation of the character.
Let's just say this: if it wasn't for No Way Home, he wouldn't have even sniffed my top 5.
God damn! Yo, what?
No Way Home brought this man back from the grave. For me, he might have been alive and well for any of you guys, and that's okay. But anyway, those are our honorable mentions. Or no, you have your one more honorable mention. Let's hear it.
I don't even want to say it. Like I kind of want to save it to where like.
Is yours a hot take?
No. Well, okay. I mean, it might be, yeah. I kind of want to save it to when I do my ranking. When we do the ranking, I don't know.
Okay, we probably should have done this after, but okay, you can save it for after. We can just jump right in.
Yeah, I'll save my honorable mention for after. Yeah.
Okay. So my number 5 is, which I just talked about him actually. Jake Johnson. He's basically similar to I feel similarly to the way I feel about Chris Pine, but except Jake Johnson, we got so much more of him. And he is just so funny. I just truly think he embodies the character. And he's only a voice actor, so he's at a disadvantage. And for him to be above Andrew, that's saying a lot for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Jake Johnson. I never in a million years would have thought he would portray Spider-Man in any form of media.
All right.
But hey,
hold on.
We got it.
Hold on.
What, RJ?
You have Jake Johnson over Andrew?
Of course. Oh, man. Jake Johnson, so much better when it comes to Spider-Man, Peter Parker stuff. So much better.
So much better. So much better than Andrew?
Yeah.
I think that's an abysmal take. I'm sorry, dude. No, Cody.
All right.
Cody.
Fair enough.
Cody, you cannot be serious.
Yes, I'm serious.
You cannot be serious. It's fine that Andrew's not in your top 5, but saying that,
that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.
Shut the fuck up.
That's just the way it is.
You cannot be serious.
Okay, maybe I was embellishing a little bit, saying he was way better, but I just think he's a little better.
You're not even close to Andrew. I'm sorry. If I had to rank a top 10 list, Jake Johnson's at the bottom of the list. He's close to the bottom.
What's wrong with Jake Johnson, though? What don't you like about him? What does Andrew Garfield do better? What does Andrew do better?
He's a better Spider-Man than him.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
What? In what way?
I'll tell you which way. You know, remember Across the Spider-Verse? Oh, Peter B. Parker is like, hey, Miles, it has to be this way. Andrew is not doing that shit, okay? Andrew is telling Miles to do what he wants because you want to know why? That is what Spider-Man is supposed to do, the right thing.
Okay, don't bring the whole Miguel O'Hara Miles.
Oh, I'm bringing it. I'm doing it. It applies.
We can save that for another podcast when we have Mr. Shamoon on here. He'll put you in your place.
Screw him. All jokes aside, though, I think that Andrew, just his performance is better. Clear as Jake Johnson as Spider-Man. Clears. I'm sorry. There's no debate there. I'm sorry. There's no debate. I can't do that. I just can't. I cannot. No. Listen, Jake Johnson, for that particular version of Peter Parker, is good. For that particular version, the goofy version, I get it. Yes. He's good.
He's not goofy. He's not goofy at all.
The motherfucker wears slippers and a robe.
That has nothing to do with his performance. He's not live action.
No, but I'm just saying. I said the version of the character. I said the version of the character. Like, but back to the performance. Andrew's performance as Spider-Man is better. It's better. Clears. No. Better. No, it's better. It's better. This is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous, Mr. Garfield lover.
This is an abysmal thing.
At this point, I think Garfield's your number one right now. I think you might be tricking me here. You're fooling me.
Abysmal take.
This tomfoolery. Watch it. I'm calling it. Garfield's RJ's number one right now. He tricked me. He tricked all of us. You're like Mysterio with these illusions, RJ.
Fucking hell.
Okay. What? Okay. What is your number 5? Let's hear your number 5. All right.
Tobey Maguire.
Okay, that is a hot take right there, bro.
How?
Fuck. Okay, you sound like someone we know. How?
Don't ever say that again.
Barely cracking the top 5? No, I'm keeping that in.
What do you mean? He's number 5.
Barely.
No, because there's other versions that I think that are better. Is that like? But hey, Toby is in my top 5 because Toby's the OG. Okay, like
okay, fair enough.
He's that. Like that's why I had to. That's why he's in my top 5. Okay, but you're gonna. My list will be much more nuanced. Because I don't have a Jake Job. Sorry.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I went there, buddy. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of who you put over him right now. Oh man. RJ, man.
You'll know in due time.
All right. Number 4. Christopher Daniel Barnes from the animated series. For me.
Okay.
He's very good. We probably on my list.
Guess what? He's my number 4 too.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've gotten so much from him. I think there's like 4 seasons of the show, and I loved with his version. He was like really contemplating. This was like a really different version of Peter, where he was really always contemplating, hanging up the webs, hanging up the suit, and just going on with his life with Felicia, which he probably should have done, get that oatmeal. But I really like that part of his the character. He was a little bit like, he seemed kind of a Debbie Downer at times, but that's just his version of Peter. So
yeah,
a lot of nostalgia for him, but I do think he did a great job as well. But
yeah, for sure. But yeah, he's my top 4. I mean, he's my number 4. The reason why I had to put him over Toby's because look at Toby's version. I mean, I'm trying not to compare the versions rather than like just compared to performances. I think that his voice like is. I think he has the most Spider-Man voice out of like all the actors. Like especially out of all the voice actors, he has the most Spider-Man voice.
I'm gonna disagree with you there, sir, but I'll allow it.
I said I think, by the way. There's other people. It's definitely not Josh Keaton though.
No, or Drake Bell. He's all right, but Drake Bell. Do you like Drake Bell?
Not Spider-Man? Moving on. Number 4, number 3.
No comment.
No comment.
My number 3 is Mr. Maguire, Tobey Maguire, number 3, for obvious reasons.
Okay.
OG.
All right. Okay.
Not really much to say. I mean, most people our age grew up with the character.
Yep.
He is a little like there are some Spider-Man specific moments that are a little iffy, but they're a lot better than. It's a lot less one-sided than Andrew's, in my opinion. I think he makes up for it.
Yeah, I think it's fair. That's fair. I mean, to me, Tobey and Andrew kind of like have like a reverse. Where like Tobey's better as Peter than he is Spider-Man, and then Andrew's better as Spider-Man than he is as Peter. But this all falls on the writing. But performance-wise, like Tobey is that guy. Like he's a good crier. Like he's a good crier, man. He does those emotional. He kills those emotional scenes. He's a good crier. Like hey, but
yeah,
the Uncle Ben stuff.
He's got that punchable face. Punch me, I bleed. Yeah, he's got that lovable dork.
Yeah, you do punch the lovable dork face. He does have that. He does have the most punchable face out of all 3 of them. I gotta say.
Right.
All right, I love you, Tobey.
What's your number 3? Am I ready for this?
Josh Keaton. Okay. Josh Keaton, Spectacular Spider-Man. That is my number 3.
That is a very good
absolutely love his version. His performance as the web crawler is amazing. Spectacular Spider-Man, underrated, very, very underrated Spider-Man show. I want a season 3 from this show. This show had everything. But not only that, Josh Keaton just gave the character new life and brought a new take in animated form. That it just it was what needed for what was needed for the character, because they're always going to go back to animated when it comes to like Batman, Spider-Man, and all these characters that are like really popular in pop culture. But I really, really loved how he brought the character into new life, and that's why he's in my top 3.
I need to rewatch that show. It is. I agree.
It's so good, dude.
So good.
It's so good.
I haven't watched it in a while, but yeah, it is very good, and he does a great job as well. I agree 100%.
For sure.
All right, top 2.
We're in the top 2.
I got the one and only Tom Holland, number 2.
What? No, I'm playing.
Yep, he's my number 2.
You got my number 2? Okay.
I mean, he's my favorite live action Spider-Man, and I think that's saying something. For those of you
I know who your number 1. I know who your number 1 is now.
Oh yeah, you should have already.
I know who your
But anyways,
I know who your number 1 is.
RJ knows this. I was not really a fan of Tom Holland many years ago. It took a long
Raimi fanboy.
Exactly. I was a stubborn Raimi fanboy, and it took a while for me to expand my horizons to see it on screen. But hey, I've seen the error of my past ways now, and Tom Holland is by far the best live action interpretation of the character. And I'm gonna be honest, his story, he's got the best trilogy, better trilogy than Tobey. I think, I don't know about easily, but in my opinion, he definitely does. And
I agree. And to add on to your point, for me, the Tobey Maguire, the Raimi trilogy doesn't feel complete. So that's why I can't rank it. When people rank like Raimi trilogy, I can't put it in like a top 2 because it doesn't feel complete. And and that's why like I put like Tom's trilogy or like the Dark Knight trilogy like as like the best like combo trilogies. Like there's a reason why Tom Holland said like when he kept saying like, hey, if I don't continue as a character, I mean like here you go. Like No Way Home has it like it has a definitive ending. Even though we know it's gonna continue and stuff, but it does feel like it has like that type like that ending to like a trilogy. So
it's like
I agree with you on that point. Yeah.
When you're doing a trilogy, it should have been mapped out for a while. Like there's gonna be a beginning, middle, and a solid ending. Toby's they did not have a clear direction where they were going to end off that at all. It seems like we just missed a whole another scene after that. Like it just ends with Toby and Kirsten Dunst dancing at the end. That was stupid without even talking. But yeah, his journey, this trilogy, it's just marked to the beginning. It just marked him transitioning from a boy to a man. He's a man now.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta check on my pizza.
Anyway, Tom, like I was literally just watching Far From Home right before we press record on this episode. And it's just Far From Home is so underrated, dude. I was just telling RJ, like, there's just so much, even that film, which is widely regarded as the weakest movie in that trilogy, it still slaps on all emotional levels, dude.
It does, like especially that post credit scene, man. Like, come on.
Yeah. And
that's the best post credit scene in Marvel history. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
And like No Way Home, like I got the poster right here on my wall, dude. And it's not even because of the nostalgia and just the fan service parts of the movie. Yeah, they're in there, but that's not why it's my favorite Spider-Man movie. It's because of Tom's transformation, just the journey he goes through. It's just so satisfying on all levels. And I literally told RJ right after No Way Home came out, I was like, this man Tom Holland, he's got my respect, man. He's
because I told people me and a good friend of ours, Darius, me and him specifically were saying that this movie, the Tom haters are gonna shut the fuck up. And they did. And I said he's gonna have a plethora of Spider-Man moments in this movie, and he did.
John Watts and Tom Holland, geniuses working together.
Yeah, good duo. Kevin Feige too.
So good. But I could go on forever about why Tom is where he is on my list. He's just, don't get me wrong, I love me some Tobey Maguire and I like half of some Andrew Garfield, but Tom Holland is that guy.
I like Tom Holland's that guy, man.
He's not like, he's past them. Like Toby's my childhood, Tom is my adulthood. That's the way I'm putting it right now.
Yeah, Tom's always going to be my favorite. Well, I guess I kind of spoiled it, but
you'll get your chance to expand more. But what is your number 2, RJ?
Yuri Lowenthal. I can't pronounce his last name.
Let's go.
Is it Lowenthal?
Lowenthal.
Okay. Yeah, ever since the Spider-Man game came out, I have been like just in awe of like this guy's voice as a character and just the overall writing.
Yeah.
But to really expand on his performance as a character, this guy is a proper fan of the character, and he brings that into when he's like acting as Peter Parker. And the first game, I'm still like playing it. I know, late me, but it's just so good, like hearing him talk, and whether whatever version a Peter Parker that you like, Amazing Fantasy, all that. He just really embodies the character as a voice. Like he has the voice of Peter Parker, and it's just amazing to see. And like he really, the gameplay itself is cool and all that, but his performance as a character with the game really makes you feel like Spider-Man. Like you're really playing the character, and he does a good job at that. But also, like his voice acting is just phenomenal. Like I really hope that in future Spider-Verse movies, like he really gets to like voice like the character again. Like I really hope that he does. Like I hope. I don't know how many games they plan on making, but I really hope that we get to see more of them, and it's not just 3. Like maybe he could do something like else. Maybe he could play like a different version of the character in like an animated show. Like who knows? I would love to see that. You know what I would love? A Spider-Verse animated show.
Yes, I'm all.
I think that would slap. I think that would slap.
On board, 100%. And just piggyback on what RJ was saying, because
I love.
If you didn't know already, Yuri Lowenthal is my number 1, of course. If you've been following my channel, you know this, obviously. But like this man is in his 50s, and he's playing a 25, 26-year-old Peter Parker. He's got that youthful charm in his voice.
He's 50 years old?
He's 52, I think.
What?
It's insane. I don't know how he.
I did not know that.
It's not.
I did not know that.
He's got the most range in his voice. Even the little snippets in the gameplay trailer, we hear a little bit of his like the voice when he's got the symbiote. Dude, that just sounds menacing. Like it sounds insane. Like Toby's symbiote voice, it was all right, but it wasn't on this level.
It wasn't Yuri's, man. Yeah,
No.
Yuri's that guy. Like, yeah, I like Yuri.
Like whenever I read the comics, this is the voice I read Peter Parker in, as if he's delivering the lines. That for me, I know it's different for everybody. You could hear, if you're old as hell, you hear Nicholas Hammond. If you're a kid in today's world, you hear Tom Holland. If you're a kid my age, you hear Tobey Maguire. Hey, you like what you like, but
you're an old ass dude. You're Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, Yuri Lowenthal, and it's crazy because he's just a voice actor. He's just one part. It's not like he's the character model of the character. He's the way he can just embody that much of Peter Parker and Spider-Man just from the voice. I mean, I know the voice, is the heart and soul almost, but I don't know. It just really hits with home with me, and it just that's my Spider-Man. That's my Peter Parker for me. So, yeah. So the long-awaited number 1 for RJ. What's your number 1, sir?
My number 1, if you didn't know already, is Tom motherfucking Holland.
We had the same top 2
ever since.
That's crazy.
Huh?
We had the same 2 characters.
Yeah,
or
but in this different order. But it took me a while to to get on board with Holland's version, but I remember I was watching Civil War in theaters, and I was like waiting till I couldn't wait till like Spider-Man appeared. Like I love Civil War, I love Marvel and all that, but like Spider-Man's like to me like number 1 like over any character, any like team up stuff. But when he came on screen, he was talking and this is when he was Peter, and he's talking to Tony, and then he gets in the suit like at the airport scene, and then he says, "Hello, everyone. Hey, everyone." And then he just starts talking, and he's quipping. I'm like, yo, this is good. Like I enjoyed it, and I just ever since then, I became like a huge fan of Holland's version, and I just love his commitment to the role. He does his own stunts mostly, for the most part. He really, when there was a lot of hate toward there was some people that loved his version, or some people that there was split with Iron Man and stuff. But I always told people just just wait till that third movie. They're planning something, and I was right. Boom, I was right. But it just the moment that really, funny enough, like it wasn't even Homecoming or like No Way Home that really sold me on his Spider-Man. It was Far From Home. Like it was the Mysterio illusion scene, and then all that, and then he's making his own suit, and like just his performance when he's like just freaking out, and he thinks like he's talking to Happy, and he thinks that he messed up and stuff like that. But in Homecoming, that scene where the rubble scene, man, he says, "Come on, Spider-Man." I was like, "Yo, dude, this is my Spider-Man," and I love the scene in No Way Home where he is about to fight Goblin at the end. And Goblin's taunting him, and he says, "No, and then Peter says, "No, I just want to kill you myself." I was like, let's fucking go in the theater. Like, I have just loved his version of the character. And I remember when Tom, like, I just feel like he puts a lot of care, like, they put care with their whatever, like when they're playing the character. Like, no, this is no disrespect to like Toby or Andrew or Oliver, but I just feel like when it comes to Tom's, like he really does want to do it for the fans. And I remember he was holding a trailer event for No Way Home. It was the second one, and he got really emotional seeing people's reactions. Like Tom got really emotional seeing people's reactions to the trailer, and he was just in tears. And same thing at the premiere. Like it was afterwards, like he just got emotional after it. Like he was really proud of what he accomplished as Spider-Man. And obviously, it's not just him, but it's just his acting. And what I love about a great actor is what they can do with their eyes. And he kills it, like with his eyes. Like he knows how to act with his eyes. And that's why one of the main reasons why he is my favorite version of the character. And I gotta talk about it. That final swing, like that ending alone to No Way Home, man, is just Tom is just killing it, man. And then the scene with Aunt, like the Aunt May scene, man, that one got me.
Yep.
Like that reminded me so much of the PS4 game. Like,
yeah.
And it was just so sad that he was getting shot too, and he couldn't really like say a proper goodbye. But it's just the visual shots, and credit to John Watts for that as well. But the scene where like MJ and Ned go to him after like Aunt May's death, and like got Toby and Andrew and stuff. I love him in that scene as well. Like he's just owning the screen. But that ending, man, I just got emotional because it's just a graceful like final swing with Spider-Man, and with that fucking gorgeous suit that I love. But he's my favorite version, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gonna be biased. I don't think that anybody will. My personal list, I think Tom will be my number one for the rest of my life, forever, because just the way he acts, he reminds me of Ditko Spider-Man in the comics, and it just I just love his version, man. Just everything about him.
There's only a handful of times I've ever cried during a Spider-Man movie or shed a tear. I'll say I will. And they were all, believe it or not, they were all in one movie, and they all have the same thing in common. They were all in Tom Holland scenes
like that. He's the only Spider-Man actor that has made me bawl in the theater. Yeah, and that was in all this, like you said, all in the same movie, probably the same scenes too, and it's because of his performance. Like it just, I don't know, man. It's just something about him. He's just that good.
That Aunt May scene, the scene at the end with him and Strange, like everyone who knows and loves you, we won't have any. It's like that scene. Obviously, the farewell to Ned and MJ, and the freaking score in that, dude. Like
also credit to fucking Zendaya, man. She killed that scene, man. Like when she's like freaking out, saying like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? There's gonna be another way." Like I was like, "Yo, bro, no!" Like she's killing it, man.
And even after, when she doesn't even know who he is, Tom, he's like, you can see him internally struggling. Like, what do I do? Do I do what's best for me, or do I do what I think is best for them?
It's so fucking good, man. Like, man, it just
seeing him being on his own. He has no one. I'm like,
yeah,
I feel for this guy, dude. Like, this is my worst fear, is that being all alone. No one knows who you are. You're all alone, and you got to try to make it work for yourself, and you got to think for other people. Oh man,
bring the Spider-Man forward right now, bro. Yeah.
Like, damn it, dude.
But also, like another thing that Tom is so fucking good at is that it's like the whipped cream of Spider-Man fans. Like you like it's like the icing on the cake.
There you go.
The icing on the cake, right? The poses. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. The icing on the cake, like how he poses as Spider, like bro. Oh, dude, I just let it go, man. Like he's just that good. Like I don't.
Yep.
Man, I could sit out here and fanboy all night. I don't give a damn.
And I can't wait till we freaking review his trilogy. We should do that. That should be the first trilogy we review.
Yeah. I mean, it would probably be. Yeah, we should do that.
Or we could do them in order, whatever works. But we could probably be here for like 3 or 4 hours just talking about those movies.
Yeah,
we honestly could. But yeah, that's our top fives. I'll run through mine again real quick. My honorable mentions: Chris Pine.
I don't have Jake Johnson in my top 5.
Jake Johnson at 5. Christopher Daniel Barnes at 4. Tobey Maguire at 3. Tom Holland at 2. And Bully Yuri Lowenthal at 1.
See, I don't have a problem with Jake Johnson being on your list. It's the fact that you said he was better than Andrew Garfield.
I think he is. I didn't say he was objectively. You didn't even have Garfield on your top 5 either.
Honorable mention.
There you go. He ain't all that.
But guess what though? He's better than Jake Johnson. He's better than Jake Johnson.
I don't know.
You better put some respect on Andrew Garfield, man.
I have just the same amount of respect as you do, because he's the same on your list. He's placed the same.
You have Jake Johnson better than him.
Okay, you have Spectacular Spider-Man. I forget his freaking name above.
Josh Keaton. Put some respect. You better remember that name.
You have him above Andrew.
But because Josh Keaton's he's that good at Spider-Man. Like Peter, you got to rewatch that show anyway.
Jake Johnson, he's better than Jake Johnson. That good at Spider-Man as well.
Josh Keaton was better.
Oh, we're not talking about Josh Keaton and Jake Johnson. We're talking about in comparison to Garfield.
But Garfield's better than Jake Johnson.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is, man.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. The performance is just Andrew's performance as Spider-Man is just that fucking good.
Like, yeah, but how's his Peter? How's his Peter? Mid.
Peter's okay. How is Jake Johnson's Peter? We don't even. He's just
amazing. Amazing.
Oh, he
portrays the bum, old, middle-aged Peter Parker perfectly, who's given up on life and then slowly develops a relationship and love for being a mentor to a kid.
Yeah. Oh man.
I knew it was gonna get a little spicy in here. I might have to turn on the AC or something. Shit. But guys, if you're watching on YouTube, leave your top 5 Spider-Man.
Let us know in the comments who's the better Spider-Man, Jake Johnson or Andrew Garfield.
Do that, and let us know whose list is better, mine or RJ's. And also leave another comment giving your list for your top 5 favorite Spider-Man voice actors. And if you're listening,
give us ideas of what to do.
If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can't comment anywhere, but go on YouTube and comment it there.
And also,
Peter and Miles podcast.
Pick the better answer. Andrew is better than Jake Johnson, and then
Nah. If you have more than 3 brain cells, you'll know what the right decision is.
We should do a poll on Instagram.
Oh, okay. How are you gonna word it though?
Who's a better Spider-Man? Plain and simple.
Who's
Jake
a better
Johnson,
Spider-Man, or who's a better Spider-Man / Peter Parker?
Yeah, I guarantee you, Andrew Garfield will win.
Yeah, because you have all the Andrew Garfield fanboys and fangirls who are gonna vote him. Like we know, Human Shrek's girlfriend. She's gonna be all over that. She's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, Andrew, you have the best Spider-Man movies. TASM 2 and TASM 1 are top 2. Fuck off." No shit.
I wouldn't say all that, but I wouldn't say all that.
He ain't the best Spider-Man. We'll say that. He's a great guy, top tier dude. You know what? He's in my top 5 human beings. He makes that list. Not Spider-Man. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm posting that earlier clip where you just go on a rant.
Let's do it. Get it set.
Get it set. Get it set.
All right, guys. We also, real quick thing before we sign off, RJ and I have created the Peter and Miles podcast YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link in the comments section below, and I'm going to leave it in the description. So whichever you see it first, go leave us go hit subscribe over there, because we're going to be starting to post our videos and a lot more clips from our pods over there. As we start growing that channel, we're probably just going to start posting the pods only on that channel and Apple Podcasts. Not anytime, probably like once we get a little more of a following over there and people start to know that listen. But yeah, that's the plan. So go subscribe to Peter and Miles podcast on YouTube. Help us grow that channel, because this man is in control of it. It's going to go viral. We're going viral.
Go viral, baby.
So guys,
to this day.
Thank you all so much for watching. This was super fun. We always have a good time doing these rankings. We've done a couple. We've done the Spider-Man, the films, the movies, or no, the films, the Spider. What have we done? The films.
We've done the films. We've done
Spider-Man. The suits.
We've done that.
Have
we done villains yet?
No, I was gonna actually say that
we need to do villains next. We gotta do villains next. That's gonna be.
So should we do like from the entire Rogues Gallery?
Okay, so are we doing like ranking them in general, or just ranking them from the films?
That's a good point. We got to decide that.
I say we rank them from the films, and then in later video we do ranking them like our personal favorites, like our personal
Okay.
Because not every villain that's like a tier 1 villain, in my opinion, has made it to the films.
Yeah. So we'll do Raimi trilogy, TASM movies, Spider-Verse 2 movies, Tom's trilogy.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so that's going to be on tap for the next episode, guys. We'll try and get that out for you as quickly as possible. Thank you all for listening or watching. See you in the next one.